What's going on, guys? Aarava here, and welcome back to another exclusive F1 2018 gameplay video here today, driving as Daniel Ricciardo in his Red Bull racing car around the Hockenheim circuit for the German Grand Prix, a 5-lap race once again, of course, recorded from a PR event I attended about 2 weeks ago. Now, obviously, last week we uploaded a gameplay video of Charles Leclerc and his Alfa Romeo Sauber around Spa, and so this is a bit of a different, contrasting gameplay in a top 3 team at obviously a new circuit that's coming back into the F1 game. Of course, like I said, recorded at the PR event, so again, take the gameplay with a pinch of salt, recorded on a Fanatec wheel with a play seat, of course not my kind of comfortable setup that I have at home with a Thrustmaster TSP racer and just a normal wheel stand. So yeah, the gameplay is not obviously the full representation, but it gives you a good indication, and obviously, like I said, a very nice contrasting way to the gameplay I uploaded last week. If you did miss that, by the way, annotation in the top right to that one. But let's get into the intro and then get to the race.
Welcome to the Rhine Valley and the Hockenheim ring, where we await the start of the highly anticipated German Grand Prix. So let's join the action down on the grid. With average lap speeds of around 130 miles per hour, the Hockenheim ring is a quick circuit with a lap distance of 2.8 miles, around 17 corners. The main DRS zone through Parabolica leads into the hairpin for the best overtaking opportunity on the track. As the drivers complete their preparations down below us on the grid, one man who's no stranger to the pre-race pressure is Anthony Davidson, who joins me in the commentary box today. Great to have you with us, Ant. I'm sure you can tell us all about what goes through a driver's head before lights out.
But from the moment qualifying's over, you start to feel the adrenaline in your body build up and the buzz in your stomach as you anticipate the run down into turn 1. It's all a bit like going into battle. And the unknown situation makes you nervous. Those pre-race nerves are a good thing. The day you don't have them means that you don't care anymore. And of course, you have to make sure that all the procedures are second nature to you, so that they're not taking up too much of your capacity.
Right, diving straight into it then, and we're going to go to 5 red lights then, to 5 laps of Hockenheim with Daniel Ricciardo's Red Bull. 5 red lights are out and we're underway. Bit of a shaky start there on the throttle pedal. The AI get a really good one. Marcus Ericsson overtaking Sorokin as they're going to turn 1 though. The Russian comes back down the inside of turn 1. We go down the inside of Ericsson as well. Took it quite cautious because obviously I didn't really know what kind of space the AI were going to give me. And now we're going to follow the Russian through, or try and follow him through down the inside. He's made a successful 3-man pass there. Sorokin has. We made a double overtake, and now we find ourselves right behind Kevin Magnussen in the Haas car. Now looking ahead on the heads-up display on the right-hand side. Of course, this year the ERS deployment very important. So just taking a look at what we can do on overtake mode down to high then, and just trying to make sure we can have the speed on the straights. Of course, with the Red Bull racing car, with the Renault engine in the back of this thing, will be a little bit down on the straights compared to maybe the Haas with the Ferrari engine. So trying to counteract that with some ERS there, but also a little bit cautious in the start because I wasn't really too sure how the AI were going to race around here. But now down the inside of Charles Leclerc, the man we were driving as in the last gameplay video, on the outside there. He really made me fight for it on the outside, but eventually, of course, you would expect the Red Bull has the downforce to make that pass. But a really nice battle straight away with Leclerc. Now into the stadium section, which I must say, look how sweet this part of the circuit looks, especially with the sunset, you know, the sun peering over that grandstand when we entered the stadium section. Looks absolutely gorgeous. Like, if you compare the gameplay back to F1 2016, it is unreal how good Hockenheim now looks on the F1 game. So now we're catching up now on lap 2 to the next Williams car, which will be Sorokin. Obviously, we try to follow him through, and now this time around lap 2, we can do it down the inside at the end of sector 1. A very understeery off-camber kind of corner there. Makes you want to go scrub wide. We need to try and tighten up, try and get a good exit on the main straight, and we do so. And now bumping up the ERS deployment zones, and we can see a whole gaggle of cars ahead of me, so they might slow each other up into the hairpin, so I might have a good opportunity. And you can actually see 1, 2, 3 side-by-side moves into the hairpin by the AI on other AI, so you can see how racy they are, not just against you but each other, whereas in 2017 they didn't really make that many moves against each other unless they had a good amount of slipstream, whereas now they're just going to go for it. Now we go down the inside, speaking of going for it, on Pierre Gasly, and we make a very similar pass to the one we made on Leclerc, but this time a little bit earlier. And now we've got the 2 McLarens fighting away, Van Dorn behind Fernando Alonso. But yeah, really good to see 3 side-by-side moves into the hairpin. No DRS, obviously, on lap 2. It's not activated yet, and they're just making the passes. So definitely feel like, you know, apart from you making moves and battling the AI, which is obviously going to be fun, it's also going to be cool to, you know, like this right now, as Van Dorn, you can see, he's trying to hustle on Harry Alonso. It's going to be a case of sometimes you're going to have to take a seat back and maybe watch other AI fight and try and pinpoint when is best to make the move. Like now, down the inside, that was probably not the best place to make the move, because now I've lost a lot of speed. I had to really slow off because I was going to smash at the back of Van Dorn. Van Dorn went down the inside of Alonso, which is a fantastic pass into turn 1, but now you can see I've made a mistake into the end of sector 1, and I've lost a further position. So instead of gaining 2 places, I've lost 2 places to the Toro Rosso Honda and the Sauber car. So yeah, like I was saying, literally, I did not make the right calculation of when I should have made that move. I probably should have backed off even more against these McLaren cars, and they're still going at it. Van Dorn and Alonso, great to see. We go down the inside of Leclerc, though, because he's held up by the 2 McLarens fighting there. And so now can we try and maybe size up a better place to make the pass? Not here, down the inside once again. Definitely not the place to make the pass. I didn't have the speed on Van Dorn, but you can see there the difference in downforce between the Red Bull and McLaren cars. So as we go into the stadium, I'm feeling quite punchy here, and obviously we're driving as Daniel Ricciardo, so let's just lick the stamp and send it hard into the stadium section. Hairpin down the inside, big dive bomb, little bit of contact there on Alonso, and I'll admit that was definitely a very audacious dive bomb, and you can see actually I get myself flustered a bit too much on the throttle pedal, and I have to try and save the car there. But I will say, that's also due to the Red Bull car. I feel like on this year's game, every single year they do a better job at making the cars feel different to one another, and on this year's car, and in this year's game, they definitely have continued to make that step up. The Red Bull car definitely felt a bit more edgy and punchy, but also unstable sometimes in the corners compared to the Alfa Romeo Sauber I was driving in the last gameplay, where obviously it doesn't have as much downforce, but it actually felt quite stable and just comfy and a bit more soft, I guess, on its suspension springs, and a bit more just kind of, you know, I knew what I could do with it, and it was quite predictable. Whereas the Red Bull car, it's a little bit more on edge. You feel like if you make a move and you maybe plant the throttle a little bit earlier in the corner like that, sometimes you feel like it should have the downforce, but then it just kind of bites you back a little bit. So I really like that kind of, you know, difference in car, whereas it's slower but more comfortable maybe. The Red Bull, obviously, if you're brave enough, like a Verstappen kind of character, you kind of shove it in, send it in, or like Ricciardo under the brakes, really send it, you can make it work, but equally at the same time you have to respect the car back, because it can bite you back, because it's yeah, very unstable, I feel. But now we move on to lap number 5, the last lap of the Grand Prix. Then at the moment we're not even in the top 10, so it's been a bit of a tougher race actually. We've had a bit more battling than I expected in the middle part of this race, in laps 2 to 3, and so I was expecting to be up here probably on the last lap. Only now on the last one can we do it. So can we get into the top 10 then, which would be kind of a semi-successful last question mark challenge for Daniel Ricciardo in the Red Bull. So now we're going to close up to the other Toro Rosso here, into the hairpin. I can sense he's going a bit slow. He's kind of stuck behind the Force India. We can send it down the inside there. Of course, Honda v Renault power, and right now we have the better traction and grip out that corner, and we do get it on Pierre Gasly. And now we're going to chase after Esteban Ocon, but I feel like he's a bit too far for me to get. So I think we might have to settle for P11. I don't know. Let's see into the last corner maybe, as we might be able to rapidly catch up onto the Force India car through the stadium section. But it's going to round out what is going to be a really nice race around Hockenheim, and a good first feeler, I feel, around Hockenheim. We do send it down the inside again, like with the Alonso move. Bit of contact made, and yeah, probably not giving the AI as much respect as I could have given, but I really wanted to try and get in the points here for the sake of the video. And so we do barge away past basically Ocon, and we're up into P10, and we do get into the points. Lewis Hamilton, though, wins this one at the German Grand Prix. The game knew to match it to Hamilton winning the real-life German Grand Prix. But that has been the gameplay then at the Hockenheim ring with Daniel Ricciardo. I hope you guys enjoyed that difference, obviously, to last week with the Sauber Alfa Romeo. This time around, a top 3 team. So if you guys did enjoy the gameplay, hit that like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. Like I said at the very start, though, has to be taken with a pinch of salt. I was driving with a Fanatec pedal and wheel, which is not my usual setup. Very stiff brake, very open pedal, not very great in my opinion compared to a Thrustmaster TSP racer. And then the play seat itself, I don't like that seating position. I'd rather sit upright with a wheel stand. So on that front, wasn't exactly the best driving I've ever done on the F1 game. And also the AI weren't 110. I believe they're around 105, I think this was, in the Red Bull gameplay here. So they definitely still have some speed to find, and potentially as you go up the AI level, obviously more aggression to find. So definitely take the gameplay with a pinch of salt. But I have some more gameplay like to come in the next week or so, guys. I think we've got a small snippet at the French Grand Prix with Sebastian Vettel, and then I believe also Fernando Alonso at the Monaco Grand Prix. So let me know in the comments below, guys, which gameplay you prefer to see first, the Alonso at Monaco one or the Vettel at the French Grand Prix one. Let me know in the comments. But yeah, if you are new around here, do get subscribed for that. Of course, we had so many preview videos for the career mode 2 weeks ago, so be sure to go check those out, annotations in the top right, and I will see you guys next time. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.